They've been shooting us forever in this country. The cops, that is. They've been cutting down black men forever. And my job is to sound an alarm in Zion and let it be known that we ain't gonna take it no more. We're not going to stand idly by and take this anymore. Black lives matter. 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 That's what I want to put out there. And I just want to remind everybody to look at my tracks. Go to Spreaker.com or to whatever device, group, association, platform you're listening to this podcast over, and get the 2 podcasts from last night, which were sent out live from an actual Black Lives Matter inner meeting last night. The co-founder, Patrice Cullors, was there. She sat at the table with me. God blessed me with the opportunity to meet her, to be in her presence, and to be at her table. And if you will pull the podcast from last night, there are 2 of them. You will get to hear, you will be able to hear what we were saying in those inner meetings last night, because we had a meeting at AME at Ward AME Church. And I recorded some of it and put it out on a live podcast, and I would like for you to hear it. Go and pull that up off of Spreaker.com, as I said, or whatever device you're listening over, and you will get to be able to hear what we were saying in those meetings last night. Black Lives Matter. So again, go to Spreaker.com or whatever device you get my podcast over, and tell all of your friends that if they want to hear an inner meeting from Black Lives Matter, that they should go to the meeting from last night and listen to the 2 podcasts that I posted titled Black Lives Matter. That's very important. The audio is not that great, but it is an inner meeting, and we did not allow the media in. And so if you want to know what was going on, what was being said, that's how you find out. Okay? And go to YouTube and pull down videos for me. Now, there's a lot of audio of me, but pull down the video. Some videos we've posted in the last few days. I think there's 4 or 5 of them, and they're 5 and 6 minutes long. Perhaps one of them is almost 7 minutes. Pull those videos down and listen to and watch the video from Sherman D. Manning on YouTube. And please, please tell your friends, especially if any of them are Donald fans, tell them to listen to and watch those videos on YouTube. Would like for you to do that as soon as possible. YouTube/Sherman D. Manning, okay? Spreaker.com, that's SPREAKER.com, and pull down the 2 audio podcasts from last evening titled Black Lives Matter, and listen to those, and you will hear inner meetings that we had on last evening at Ward AME Church, and I think you will be very impressed with some of the ideas that were examined, that were talked about, that were presented by some of the brilliant people who were in that room. There was a lot of brilliance in that room. It really was. I'm not one of the brilliant ones. You know, I'm a lowly servant, lowly teacher, lowly preacher, lowly speaker, lowly author, etc. But there was a lot of brilliance in that room last evening, and I would like for you to hear it for yourself. And the way you hear it is you go to Spreaker.com or whatever device. I know I'm sounding redundant, but I got to get you all in on that one. That's an important one. Whatever device you listen to us on, pull down the 2 podcasts posted last night titled Black Lives Matter, and you will be pulling down an actual podcast from an actual real live meeting with the co-founder of Black Lives Matter, with my good friend Jerry Silva of Fair Chance Project. She's a talk show host also. She hosts Think Outside the Cage, I think it is, or Think Outside the Cell. I forget what, I think it's Think Outside the Cage And as you may know, I've been on her show several times. Pull up the archive from that show. Go to kfpk.org. That's KF as in Frank, P as in Paul, K as in Kill, and pull up the uh, archives and look for the show from last Saturday, 8:30 a.m. and Think Outside the Cage, and you will be able to hear the interview that I did with Jerry Silver. I don't have my calendar before me. I'm not doing this podcast live, and so I don't know Saturday's date, but you can find out, right? Saturday, this past Saturday, just passed. Pull it up, 8:30 a.m. kfpk.org. The Think Outside the Cage interview, Jerry Silver, Sherman D. Manning, and you should listen to it. I think it was pretty good, I hope. Take a listen to it. I am Sherman D. Manning, and I am asking you to tell your friends, loved ones, and your enemies, any of your buddies. Tell them to get a copy of The Truth About O.J. Simpson, Race, Class, Money, and Justice. And also tell them to go to YouTube and watch the videos from Sherman D. Manning. And I'm also asking you to tell them about this podcast. Tell them to listen, tune in. And finally, go and listen to the two podcasts which I posted last night entitled Black Lives Matter. And you will get to hear real live communication between the co-founder of Black Lives Matter. This stuff has never been aired. Perhaps wasn't supposed to be aired, but you know, I know that Patrice wouldn't have anything against me airing it because she believes in freedom of speech and artistic expression. And I went there to participate, not just to record, but when the idea hit me to record, I recorded it and put it out live last night. And if you missed it, you don't want to miss it. You want to hear it. You want to hear that. You want to hear that. Okay? Sherman D. Manning coming to you, asking you to pray for me. Pray that God will order my steps, that He will direct my paths, that He will provide, that He will enable, that He will teach, that He will elevate, that He will create platforms and create space for me, and that He will use the gift that He has given me, that He will perfect the gift that He has put in me, that He will make me a better man, and that He'll show me His plan for my life. I don't tell all of the challenges that I face over podcasts, and I don't reveal all of that to everybody. I'm not looking for a sympathy vote or anything like that. Certainly not asking anyone to feel sorry for me. I think that I'm blessed. I know that I'm blessed. But it's very challenging coming from where I've come from and facing the uphill battle that I'm facing. But every time I think about perhaps maybe feeling sorry for myself, I think about the challenges faced by others, and I think about what some other folk are going through, and I decide to just be quiet and not feel sorry for myself, because I know that there, for the grace of God, go I, and that there are other people going through challenges too. I'm walking along doing this podcast right now over in collegiate territory, and I pass by homeless encampments all the time where people are sleeping outside on the streets, sleeping in tents. And I realize that it's always worse for somebody else there, but for the grace of God go I. And even in that, in those who are sleeping in tents, they can be thankful and grateful for the tents, because they could be sleeping in jail. And I don't know whether some of them might think that jail is a step up. Perhaps for some it might be, but I strongly doubt it, especially if you're going to be there with a long sentence. I don't think anybody would rather be in jail. That's another discussion we'll have some other time. But I do want to encourage you to pray for me. If you would be so kind to pray for me, pray that God will teach me humility. Pray that God will teach me faith. Pray that God will teach me to walk that fine line between self-confidence while being humble and not let it turn into arrogance. God bless you. Keep the faith, keep hope alive. Sherman, bye-bye.